This is Cadillac's hit music station, 107.9 CDY. I am Rich Spicer, and I am always very happy to talk about things that are going on in the community because that's what your local morning DJ ought to do. And we've got in the studio with us right now Katy Huckle, and Katy is here to talk about a fundraiser that is near and dear to a lot of people in this community's hearts. You want to talk a little, expand on that just a little bit? First of all, good morning.
Good morning, Rich. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
It's so very nice to see you.
Yes.
So talk about why we've got you here this morning.
Okay. Well, Hefrani Smith is a 13-year-old girl in Cadillac, and she's the daughter of Maggie and Dan Smith, and just a wonderful girl. She's a scholar. Her grades are stellar. This girl does everything right, and she needs a liver transplant. And so now the community has, absolutely wrap their arms around her, and we're putting on a fundraiser at the Elks on the 23rd of May. It's an auction. It's entertainment by the Footlighters, by some of Mike Filkin's band students. The Elks is making homemade spaghetti for us, and they're giving me quite a deal on our ticket prices for that. So we're making money on tickets. We're making money on auction items. We've had cash donations come in. This is really going to be expensive for the Smith family, and so we want to take that burden away from them. Dan came to town and lit the Y on fire, and now we have this amazing and vibrant Y. And I feel like the response that I've received with emails, with texts, with phone calls is, we want to support Dan and his family because he's done so much for Cadillac. And so you can't believe it. I have ladies making quilts. I paired up with and teamed up with Scott Torco, who's the head pastor at Zion Lutheran. Dan and Maggie and the family are very involved in the church over at Zion. And so Scott and I hooked up, and now we've got Tiffany Rice dancing, and we've got the Footlighters coming in and singing, and they've got actually a special number for Dan and his family. Today I got a call from Jason Elmore's mother. Katy, I made a quilt that I want to sell at the auction. So everyone in town is just rising up and rolling up their sleeves and saying, how can I help? We'd like to raise $23,000, which is just kind of the tip of the iceberg for the cost of the liver transplant. And I think we're going to get there. We're already at $3,000, and the thing isn't until May 23rd. So folks can email me, get on Jason Elmore's Facebook. He's talking about it. Pat Goggins talking about it out there. So just support this amazing family and during this hard time.
And when you're talking about Jason Elmore's Facebook page, that's his Wexford County Prosecutor page, right?
I think it might be his personal.
Might be his own personal
I think it's his
one?
personal one that he showed me today. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's got all the details on there, and I promise the food's going to be great. A shout out to Colonel Bill Ewald. I'll tell you, Rich, I show up at the Elks, and I've got my notes, and I want to do this, and all I had to say was Hefrani Smith needs a liver transplant, and everything sprung into action. Bill had his cook over there. He's like, we can run my square for your auction. We'll help with setup. Here's who's going to help you with the stage. We got it. We won't charge for the venue. So just a big shout out to the Elks. Their motto is Elks Care and Elks Share, and I'm experiencing that.
And really, I mean, that's kind of what happens in Cadillac. Dan is a Cadillac transplant. I think he came to Cadillac a few years after I did, but man, the community has embraced the family. It has embraced the Y and all the work he's done with it. So,
Absolutely.
And he's sitting right here behind me as we are waxing lovely about everything he's done for the community. But,
well, because you want to know why? Because he's pretty humble, you know, so he's not going to tell us that, but everybody knows it. Yes.
Well, and that's why we wanted to have you in to talk about it. Give us the date and the time one more time, and how folks can help, and then we'll chat with Dan a little bit.
Yep, absolutely. So the date is May 23rd. It's at 6 p.m. We're going to go till 9:30, and it's kind of like this open house type vibe. So we've got entertainment coming in. We've got the spaghetti dinner. We've got the live auction, and then I've got a memory book there, and I want the community to talk a little bit to the family and share their thoughts about the family, so that when they head out east, because that's where she's going to be doctoring, that they've got that memory book. It's a goodbye book to the family. Just send them off with lots of love and support.
Well, and Dan, I'm going to have you slip into the microphone right here because there is a goodbye involved. After several years of helming the Cadillac Area YMCA, you are soon to be on your way. You're going to be taking up another post of heading up another Y elsewhere?
Yeah. Good morning, Rich. Always a pleasure to be on the show with you. And,
Thank you.
And I appreciate you giving us this time, especially when it's so personal. I've accepted a role as the leader of the YMCA in Keene, New Hampshire, and our motive there was simply to get closer to Boston Children's Hospital for Hefrani's liver transplant, and just to give some hope and excitement for her to look forward to, as she's extremely excited for a transition. As a family, we are more focused on the grief of leaving and the uncertainty of her health than pretty much anything else. And we've been overwhelmed by the hope that this adventure is giving us here as Katy and the Elks and Pastor Scott and Zion Lutheran Church and just the community as a whole has reached out to us.
I cannot imagine having a child going through something like this and having a stable situation at home, let alone at this time in your life, getting ready to move and uproot the family and everything. Wow. It's just, how are you processing all of this, Dan?
Well, it is a lot.
Day by day, I'm sure.
Yeah. In some ways, the move is a welcome respite from the fear. I mean, as a parent, we want to care for our kids. And we want to find answers. And she has an unanswerable cancer that just requires a transplant. And transplants have uncertainty. And so all that uncertainty, and no matter what I do as a dad, there's nothing I can do to change that, to have some certain tangible projects to work on, feels like somehow we're fighting that cancer. And so figuring out how to list a house and get rid of a bunch of possessions and make that move and transfer to different schools and so on, that gives us some tangible answers to it. So it does create a lot of stress, but it also gives us, like, here's a checklist we're working on that helps us feel like there'll be an end to the challenges.
And you have a community that's embracing your family right now.
In an amazing way. Just an overwhelming... it's very hard to do this interview and speak in a way that actually shows my feelings, so I'm just going to end up crying, and you can't see that on radio.
Well, Katy Huckle asked you to come, and how do you say no to Katy Huckle?
Exactly. You can't. You can't. How can we... It's a big grief to leave this community and leave all the supporters that we have here in all the different ways they've expressed that. And we dove into Cadillac, but we dove into it because it's so loving and such a great village to raise a family, and we leave it with a lot of fear about losing that.
But you're leaving. You're leaving with a lot of memories and a lot of lifetime friendships made. I'm guessing
we are, and we're hoping for a lot of visitors. I don't know that I've ever heard too many people say, in Cadillac, that they wanted to go to New Hampshire for a vacation, but the door's open, and we'd love to have some friends come through.
So, Dan, how long have you known that this health situation has been in existence with your daughter?
Yeah, so her health situation started when she was 10. She's now 13, when they discovered a tumor on her pancreas the size of my fist. And they had to remove half her pancreas and all of her spleen, and discovered it was cancerous, and it had already seeded the liver. The liver seems to be where this particular cancer ends, so that's good, but it's never... we've yet to meet a doctor who's had a patient that's had this kind of cancer before, and the doctors we work with can't really name another doctor who's had it before. It's just that rare. And when it has, in cases when it has gone to the liver, it's only been one tumor. And so you can operate and remove the tumor and you're good. This one has had, she has 23 tumors. And so liver replacement is all you can do. So, yeah.
And so it's time for the community to come together and help out a family that's meant so much to Cadillac. So May 23rd is the big day.
It is, and that's also my last day at the Y. And
wow, yeah, I can't imagine
it's going to be a big day. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's a Thursday, and on Tuesday I'm starting at the Y in Keene, New Hampshire, and so that's a big change. And Hefrani's going to go out with me, and Maggie and Hanisi will stay back for finishing the school year. But we've got some big changes coming in the next couple weeks. So.
Yeah. Wow. Well, it's time for the community to come together. Do we want to, Katie, you want to jump back to the microphone?
Absolutely.
And why don't we give the details again, the who, what, where, when, why, and maybe the how people can still help out, because there is no limit to the amount of auction items to the kind of help that you're looking for.
Absolutely. It is May 23rd. It starts at 6 p.m. It is a spaghetti dinner and an auction, a silent auction. And then we've got all kinds of entertainment, local entertainment coming in. You can drop off auction items at any time to my office, Independent Bank, right downtown, 201 North Mitchell. You can call me, 920-5200. You can call me, and I will come and pick them up. Tickets are $25, and they can be purchased right at the door, but I need to know that you're coming, so call me, okay, and I'll put you on our list. But we'd love cash donations, too. I've had so many folks reach out and say, gosh, Katie, I can't be with you guys that night, but can I mail a check? Yes, we will accept your cash. Remember, $23,000 is just the tip of the iceberg. We've got to get there for this family, Rich. We've got to send them off with all kinds of Cadillac love and a great big check.
Are you making a cake for this event?
A cake? I'll tell you what, the cake that I'm making is the tall, dark, and delicious.
Okay.
Okay, because the last time I brought it to an auction, it sold for $850. Now, the people had been golfing all day, so whatever that means. But I've got that cake coming and several other Katy cakes that I hope are going to go for big dollars.
Katy cakes are amazing.
Oh, good.
Just as amazing as the Smith family.
That's
so, and as amazing as our community is.
Oh, well, thank you for having us today. It means a lot to the family, and we hope to see everybody out at the Elks with us on the 23rd.
May 23rd. Cadillac Elks Club, it's a Smith family send-off, but in a very special way.
That's right.
All right, Katie and Dan, thank you very much.
Thanks, Rich.
More to come, 107.9 CDY.